Hey everybody, Kyle Farley with AMPM Guide Service and Hooked in Travel. Today's gonna be a quick video today. We're just gonna go over doing it yourself on creating your own rod socks and or rod gloves and how about doing it. So we also have options here. You can do your regular spinning rod, your bait casting, and your ice rods. You're gonna do 1 inch size for the bait casting. You're gonna do 1.5 inches for the regular spinning rod, and then you're gonna do 2 inches for any surf rod or like big spinning rod. And for your ice rod, you're gonna do 1 inch as well, same as your bait casting. So the advantages of a do-it-yourself rod sock, obviously you can cut the lengths you want. So for like my 9-foot musky poles, my 9-foot brookie rods, my big Laker rods, my ice rods, you can cut them the length you want and sizes and diameter. And all it is, it protects you when you're transporting and carrying cases, you're ice fishing and inside the boat, but it allows you to actually fit about twice as many rods into a rod locker as well. And not only that, is now you're jamming the rods into the actual back of the rods and crisscrossing lines and wrapping around eyelets. And all of that is, what's nice is you can actually shorten them up. So instead of like most of them, they go right down to the spinning reel, whereas you can back them up just enough like this, and then you have your hooks here, and that way this isn't hooking up onto your trebles or anything like that and creating a lot more mess than it has to be. And all of that, it keeps everything neat, tidy, and protects your eyelets, your gear, your lines from wrapping around. And basically you just slip them on and slip them off, and it usually costs about $2-3 a piece to make. So as far as material, you need the PE expandable tubing or sleeving, electrical expandable sleeving. You're gonna need a heat gun, you're gonna need heat shrink tubing. This diameter is 0.93 inches in diameter, and you're gonna need a hot knife or some scissors to cut it there. You'll need a screwdriver, which will help form the actual mouth of the rod sleeve. All right, so each step for each type of rod is the exact same. Right now, we're just gonna do a trolling rod. So basically, this is a 9-foot rod, and we're just gonna measure out with our PEE sleeving, electrical expandable sleeving. So this is 1 inch. This is fine for a bait caster or a trolling setup. So I'm just gonna take this out. So we're gonna measure 2 inches past the tip of the rod for the length of our expandable tubing, because we gotta leave a couple inches for our heat shrink tubing for the end of it. Now with this end, I'm gonna put about 3 inches past the actual eyelet, and then I'm gonna cut it off. Okay, so that's our expandable tubing. So now at this end, we're gonna get our heat shrink, and we're gonna get the end that's on this facing the reel. We're gonna flip this inside out. Don't worry about the splayed ends, they'll fix themselves. We're gonna fold it back a little bit. We're gonna get a screwdriver, put it on top like that. Sorry, slip down a bit. And feed it over top, because we want to retain the shape. We're gonna take our heat gun, crank it up. And those ends will curl on themselves. So basically you just go, and if you can see it just slightly shrink, you just want it slightly shrinking. You can also trim these edges to make it look real pretty, but I don't need to for my purposes. There you go. Here's your one end, expandable sleeving. So that'll go right on top of the rod. So that's what I'll do next. I'll feed it on too, and we'll take care of the other end. All right, so now we got our other end of the rod here. So my rod tip's right here, and then I've left some breathing room here too as well. So I'm just gonna trim this off, because this is actually the very end of the roll. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold this as best as I can. I'm gonna feed this. What? Sometimes it's easier. Take the heat gun, so you can kind of twist the end of it, because you do have to get it inside this heat shrink. So what we do here, give it a few twists, works its way in, and that's what the end of the rod glove and the rod sleeve looks like. You just bang it with some heat. There we go, and that's in your rod tip. So just like you can color code all your different colors of this PE tubing, like the expandable sleeving tubing, it comes in a variety of different colors. You can also do the variety of colors at the tip ends too as well, with the heat shrink, and the color code for walleye, bass, muskie, steelhead, etc, etc, etc. But yeah, and then so I'm gonna grab this rod, show you exactly what it looks like, and then right there, we've got our trolling setup done. So exactly how it looks. So pretty easy video today. We just showed you the trolling setup, but it's the ice fishing, bait casting, surf setups, every basic type of rod is the exact same. You're basically narrowing it down to what size PE tubing is based off your first gathering guide. Other than that, that's our videos for today. Pretty easy one, short one today, guys. If you like our videos, please like and subscribe. We'll have more coming at you. And please leave a comment below if you have any requests at all for electronics or do-it-yourself builds. Stay tuned, guys. Tight lines.